Facebook and hopefully coming live on Instagram as well. There we go. There it goes live. There's always that little bit of delay. So we're live. Good morning, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Wednesday morning, we're going to do a little bit of focus on movement. Do whatever you can. So take it easy. It's not about forcing. It's not about getting out of breath. In fact, it's very much the opposite. It's keeping with the breath. So all the movement guided by the breath. We're going to start up standing, but if you want to come up to a comfortable standing position, make sure that you've got space around you and that you're safe. So space all around you there, front and back, side to side. And we'll just start off with some very, very gentle spine rotation. Now, the idea with this is that you're stable through the ground, through the hips and the waist, and we just start to get that gentle rotation through the spine. Tom, I see on Zoom, has got his Breathe Balance Move t-shirt on again. I keep forgetting to wear mine. I had my Costa Brava one on the other day when it was warm enough to go running in a t-shirt. So just gentle rotation, breathing is easy in and out through the nose. Just letting the arms relax, the shoulders relax. We're going to do a little bit of work on the floor. Very, very gentle breath. And I'm moving from the hips and the waist. I'm moving from here, and the arms and the spine are just following that movement. I'm not doing any work whatsoever with my arms or my shoulders. And then just gradually slowing that down. So here we do put a little bit of resistance through the movement. So it's like you're just running your arms, your hands through water waves. It's like watching a slow motion movie. And then slow it down. Just bring your feet hip width, stand tall for a moment. Balance. Let's do a bit of work now on extending the spine. So we've done rotation of the spine, extending the spine, and particularly here, where we often get tight in what we call the thoracic spine here. So I want you to think about opening up the front of this thoracic spine here. So lifting, a nice visualization is lifting your heart up to the sky. So we're not just bending the neck back like that and doing loads and loads of movement through that cervical spine there. We're opening up the thoracic spine. And a nice way to do that is press the palms together. So put some pressure there. Press, 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 press. And then just bring the elbows up and back, and then just lifting your heart up to the sky or the ceiling. Lovely to do outside this one. And then we'll do a little bow. So there we'll round that spine a little bit, and then we'll open up, and then we'll round. And none of this is forced. Don't think of this as stretching or forcing. Just ease, lengthen out all of the fascia, all of the ligaments, the tendons. Encourage that movement through the thoracic spine. Breathing in gently through the nose. Breathing out gently through the nose. Remember, it's not about straining or forcing, it's ease of movement. And once you get the rhythm, you follow your rhythm. Think of moving the spine, getting that spine moving. Let's do 2 more. And take a rest. Nice favorite. Love this one. It's a good coordination one. One hand on the hip, the teacup one. So you're holding a teacup in the opposite hand. All the movement comes from the center, comes from the hip. So that hip leads, hips go back, arm follows, goes behind, hips come to the side, hips come to the front, arm over the top. So again, we're just getting that whole body connection. Breathing easy in and out through the nose. And the idea is keep it as smooth as possible. And use the ground, use the floor. Move from that center. And you'll feel maybe all of the maybe little sticky bits. Maybe you feel a little bit sticky in the hip or the hamstring or calf. Again, it's not about forcing anything. Let's do one more this side. And then see how different, easier, similar it is the opposite side. So hip leads, that hip goes first, hips go back, hips come forwards. Remember you're holding a teacup, so that palm needs to face up all of the time, otherwise you're going to drop it. Breathing easy in and out through the nose. And great whole body movement. Coordination gets your brain working. Remember you're leading from the hip. Hips and center leads, everything else follows. Whole body movement. You're not just doing an arm movement. Do one more. And take a rest. Who feels pretty even side to side? Who feels one side is a lot easier than the other side? Shoulder width apart with the feet. Let's do a little bit of a tiger squat. Remember with a tiger squat, engage the fingers here. That keeps the spine nice and long. And remember we keep that sternum lifted. So we lower but keep lifted here. It's not about how deep you can go. And then come up to standing. So it's like you're sitting on a stool behind you, you're sitting back. And again, if you just go to this point and come up, that's much better than leaning over and trying to get low and straining. It's about just going with that flow of breath. Keep that chest lifted. And the little test, I like the little test where if you can stop at any point and go, oh, I need to look over there, or I need to look over there. If you're down here, you're like, oh, I can't look over there. So if you can stop at any point and still look side to side, you've got that nice long spine. And breathing just easy in and out through the nose. Again, find your rhythm. Let the breath guide the rhythm. Keep that chest lifted. This is what is good about the heart to sky exercise that we did at the beginning, because it keeps that upper back flexible enough to be able to lengthen as we move down into the squat. And again, just do enough for you. Going to do 2 more. And then take a rest. Shake out the legs. Now that should really, certainly feels a little bit warmer in here now. Open that up a little bit. Get some air in. Let the breath settle. We'll do the step and then into the tiger. So we're just going to, hopefully you can see there, I'm just going to take 1 step forward. So if I'm mirroring you, I'm taking a short step forwards on the left foot. I'm going to go down into the tiger, so the weight goes most onto that left side. That right heel just lifts, peels off the ground. I'm not lifting that right leg, but I'm using this left leg to take most of the load. And then I step up, and then I just swap sides. So I step back, shift the weight over to that right side, about 80% through that right leg, step back, shift the weight left, but I'm still coming down the center, still lifting my sternum there. So if you were doing this in a walk, so if you had space, you could step, and then you could come up, and then you could step. So you could be walking forwards. As you nip into Sainsbury's this morning, you could do it like this. Other supermarkets are available. So that's quite a fun one to do as a walk. And then maybe, if you're doing the walking, you're stepping back as well. But still keeping that weight on that forward leg. But if you are walking backwards, just go careful that you don't fall over anything. Good. And then take a rest. Give your legs a little bit of a shake out. Let's go wide. So as wide as is comfortable. And we're going to go back into the knocking, but we're just going to shift. So again, we're using the ground, we're using the hips and the waist. We're using that to create the movement. The spine stays pretty balanced on top of the pelvis. I'm not dropping side to side like this. So spine stays central over the pelvis. So then you can get that rotation. Let the arms and the shoulders relax. It's quite nice again on the hips. Good. Slow it down. And then just walk the feet back together and shake the legs out. Let's do a little bit of work on the floor. If you're not comfortable in doing this, just watch, and if you want to do it later, have a little play around with it later. But if you're comfortable doing some work on the floor, and hopefully, I'm just thinking on Instagram, because the camera is a little bit narrow, you can see me from the side. So I'm just going to come down onto knees. Now, if you need anything to support the knees, actually, we don't want any pain in the knee or anything like that. If you're not comfortable kneeling, just watch this. So we're on knees, we're going to go on all fours. So I'm going to have my wrists under my shoulders, and I'm going to have my knees under my hips. And spine is just neutral, so just that gentle curve in the bottom of the spine. I'm not doing loads of pulling in or anything. I'm just keeping pretty stable there. Don't have to really tighten the core or anything. Just get yourself into that settled position. And from there, just gently rocking forwards and backwards. But this is nice to be able to then just put a little bit of a load on that upper body as well, through the arms. Now I'll just come into this position. If you can see there, yeah. So I'm just rocking forwards and backwards. Actually, most probably better that way around for you to see. Gentle rock forwards and backwards. And just breathing easy. Watch the head's not dropping down, so keep that spine long. Keep it pretty, what we call neutral, so I'm not rounding the back or lots of things like that. But not locking anything out. Keep that movement, that flexibility through the body. And then take a rest. If you need to come up to take a rest and just give your wrist a little bit of a shake out, that's absolutely fine. And then when you're ready, go back down. Get that position right first. So you've got shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. And this time, what I would like you to do is tuck the toes underneath and then just bring the shins off the floor. So again, this is a little bit more challenging. You're going to need some more strength through that spine. And it's going to be more challenging on the breath. And then just gently rock forwards and backwards like that. If it's too much, just stay on the knees. Again, this is not about forcing or straining. It's about challenging and exploring and being curious. But it's not about pain and strain. And this can be quite hard work, but breathing easy. And then just take a rest when you're ready. And again, you can rest by staying in that position. You can come up to kneeling a little bit. You can shake your arms a little bit. Let the breath settle. We will go back to all fours position. And we're going to do what we call a donkey kick. So I know we were just discussing this. It's difficult when I'm telling you what to do and you're all on the floor trying to watch me from this position as well. So you're going to bring your heel up. So let's do whatever leg you want to do. Bring the heel up so you keep that knee at 90 degrees. So it's like you're kicking above you there. And then you just, so it's like a kick, 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 kick. And the idea is that you're opening, you're lengthening, you're creating all that space in the front of the hip, but you're keeping stable through the spine. So I don't want all of this wobbling all over the place. Just do it gently. So you still keep that sort of like neutral spine. I'm just going to move a little bit forward so you can see my leg on Instagram. See all these different camera angles. So I'm just kicking, kicking. I think I've gone the right way there. Have I gone the right way? Yeah. Kicking, kicking, like that. And then obviously swap sides. And I got a nice little clunk there through my hip. Spine stays pretty neutral, pelvis stays parallel to the ground. It's not about locking everything out, but it's about keeping strong through that spine. And then take a rest. And again, you can come up to kneeling, whatever works for you to take a little bit of a rest. And then we'll do a hinge. I'm going to show you this from the front actually, because you most probably see it better. So from here, we've done the kick like that. We're just going to hinge the hip or the leg out. So it's like a dog weeing up a lamppost basically. Hinge, again I had a nice little clunk. My left hip tends to be nice and clunky today. Just hinging out gently. Again, if you've got any pain in the knee and you're doing this and it hurts, it's not about no pain, no gain. You just stop. And again, keeping the spine pretty neutral, pretty stable, pretty strong. And opposite side, if you haven't changed sides. And then take a rest. Again, come up to kneeling if you want to rest like that. You can do 4 to 8. You know from the sessions that we do, I don't overthink about counting the numbers of reps. It's just about feeling at ease of movement, breathing with the movement. Another really nice one, and I think again it's going to be best to show you from the front, is a hip circle. No, actually it's going to be best to show you from the side. Show you from the side, so you can see from the side. So we take the leg back, and then it's like climbing over something round. So we do a nice big hip circle. So let's just do 4 on one side and then 4 on the other side. You took the plank out then. Again, it's about keeping the spine fairly neutral. But of course, there's going to be movement, but it's making sure that you're strong, stable through the spine. Good, and then you can change direction. So if you went back first, you can come forwards first, out and round and back. And think with all the Qigong stuff we do, it's all about flow of movement. So you might notice sticky bits one side. So just repeating that. I am taking the planks out there. Repeating that on both sides. And then taking a rest. And when you are ready, remember when we did the coming up to standing, you can come forwards, you can bring that leg through, step up, and then bring that leg forwards, shift the weight forwards, and then just come up to standing from there. And have a good little shakeout. It's always a challenge to do the floor stuff online to make sure everybody can see and nobody falls over. That's good, 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 good. Hopefully that was a little bit of fun and a little bit different. Let's do some cooling down, some nice flow movements. Get the shoulders going. One palm facing up. And then we do a nice big windmill coming down the center. The other palm comes to meet it. And then we just alternate. But see if you can keep that flow of movement so everything is moving. Another good brain one for you. And it's even more complicated when we change direction in a minute. This is nice when we've been putting quite a bit of weight through the shoulders there on the floor. And then we'll come back, both palms facing up to the center. And then whichever palm started there. So I started with this, if I'm mirroring you, the right one down, the left arm up. So do the opposite side. So left one down, right arm up, and then it just comes to join, and then you can get that windmill motion going on. Let's do one more. And then both palms facing up, opening up the shoulders, facing the palms towards the sky. And then we'll have a little rotation one side. And then bringing down, pulling down the heavens back to the center. And then same thing, palms face up, shoulders open, open across the chest. Rotate to the other side, pulling down the sky, pulling down the heavens. And then let's move into a little bit of bamboo in the wind. So linking the thumbs together like that, just resting just below your belly button, your navel, bringing the feet together. So close together, that narrows your base of support. So it makes it a little bit more challenging to balance. But if you then close your eyes, it's even more challenging. But the challenge is to let your body just go with it. So it's not to interfere. Just let your body gently rock and sway. Maybe twist a little bit. Just visualizing bamboo in the wind. And then taking a full calm breath in through the nose. Refreshing breath, opening your eyes, lengthening the spine. Giving yourself a little bit of a brush down the back of the neck, front of the body, back of the body. Giving your hips a little bit of vibration there. It's quite good. We've done a lot of work with the hips and the squats. So just get some vibration going there through the hips. A little bit of a shake. Brilliant. We will finish there. A bit different today, a bit on the floor. Hopefully that was interesting. If you have any questions, drop me a message and I will see you then on Monday morning for breath, 8 o'clock to 8:30, more focus on breath and Qigong. But have a great rest of your day, have a great weekend, and thank you as always for your support and for joining in the session. Have a good day. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye bye. Bye bye.